Umar Ahmed, IFL TV, MTK Global. We're at your call for Joshua Povetkin public workouts. I'm joined by another Umar Sadiq. What are you saying?
I'm good, man. Shout out my namesake.
Exactly. Yeah, let's start with obviously your announcement. 20th October at the Brentwood Centre fighting Zak Chelli. Good fight for the fans, and a lot of fans' opinions a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, it seems to be the trend nowadays. A lot of promoters are sticking the talent in stages where promoters haven't done in the past few years, and I think it's fantastic for boxing. I'm very confident in what I'm going to do in the fight. I'm happy that it's happening actually, because I've been asking for a step up from the beginning. So, you know, I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to putting on a fantastic show just to show my level.
Obviously, you boys at the Peacock Gym, like obviously like Lawrence is Saturday fighting for the British title. I think what is his 9th fight? 10th fight.
Yeah.
You fighting Zak Chelli. Yeah, you guys are moving quickly, fast track to be saying.
A lot of people would say that, but for us, it's more. We just take the fights that we think make sense for us in the current stage that we're at. So there's a conventional route that people take, which is, you know, fight X, Y, and Z amount of journeymen or, you know, people losing records. But for us, for example, Lawrence obviously is an Olympian. I boxed for Nigeria, so because we're elite athletes or we're elite amateur boxers, so to speak, we're, you know, fighting against national champions from other countries. Why turn pro and start fighting against people losing records? So, yeah, on paper it looks like a step up, but for me, I'm just fighting at the level that I believe I should be. Actually, I believe I should be past this level, and I aim to show that on the night.
I know you had an extensive amateur career, but obviously the IFL viewers might not know. Do you want to just tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I boxed for Repton, and I won national titles, I won British University titles and things like that. I boxed for England, I boxed for Nigeria, in the Nigerian Olympic qualifiers for 2016. Got stitched up a couple of times. I also travelled quite a lot with Repton, boxing in different places. So, you know, I won a number of things. I had about 45 amateur fights, but after my 9th amateur fight, I went elite. So I was boxing, basically majority of my amateur career was against elite fighters, and because of that, I only really know how to fight elite fighters, and that's why I'm keen on fighting people winning records.
Sure. Obviously now you're in the pro ranks. I know you're under Frank Warren and stuff, but you love self-promoting. We've seen your YouTube channel. Do you enjoy all that? Yeah,
big time. I mean, we're in the entertainment business. We are modern day gladiators, and it's very important to remember the bread and butter, which is you've got to be able to box. You've got to make the right sacrifices for training and put in the graft, which I do. And alongside that, it does me a lot of favour to self-promote, like you said, and engage with, you know, the public, entertain people, give them a reason to engage with me or just basically stay relevant. But ultimately, doing things of that nature means that when I win big, I've got a platform with which to make my victories bigger, and I can tap into different audiences. We've seen what these YouTubers like KSI have done recently, and although I do want to please the hardcore boxing fans, which is why I'm happy to box Zak Chelli, I also understand that the money in boxing comes from the casuals. No offence meant by that comment, but it is what it is, and because of that, I will cater to them.
Do you think more boxers should sort of do what you're doing?
I think they should, yeah. So most people in my position would do things and say, oh, this guy's copying me and things of that nature, but I get happy when I see people do it, because, you know, for every fighter that brings in, or for every casual fan that's brought in to boxing, there's something that I can benefit from. So if every fighter was doing it, boxing as a whole becomes a bigger sport, and the bigger the sport, the more willing organisations would be to invest money in it, and the more money I can make.
Yeah. So. Just a word also on your stablemate tomorrow, Saturday night, Lawrence Chelli, obviously fighting Matty Askin for the British title. Thoughts on that fight?
I think Lawrence has trained phenomenally hard and smart for this fight. He's in incredible shape, the best I've ever seen him in, amateur or pro. And on Saturday, I think so long as he's switched on, it's going to be a very good performance from him. I don't want to jinx and predict a knockout, but I won't be surprised to see a knockout.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That would be a big statement, because obviously Askin went 11 with Glowacki, been in there with Usyk, so he's got pedigree as a pro.
He does, and, you know, he's a very good boxer. I just think that Lawrence is a better boxer, and it's a massive benefit to Lawrence that for all the power that people talk about that he has, he actually doesn't load up in the punches. If you watch back his fights, you'll see. He's just a boxer with great timing, great accuracy, great judgment of range, and when he drops the shots, people go down. So long as he boxes regardless of what Askins decides to do, whether he decides to box or come forward, it will probably end up walking into something.
Back to you. You're on the Anthony Yard show, aren't you? On the
Yeah,
that'll be on the show.
Yeah, basically is. Yeah. So the show's not even been announced yet because last time, as far as I know, they've been having trouble with his opponents. People asking for too much money, agreeing to the fight, then asking for more money, X, Y, and Z. But you know, there's not much time left for the show now. So hopefully something's sorted out really soon.
What would you say sort of the current UK scene at 168 is like?
I think it's very separated. So you've got like the top guys, Callum Smith, George Groves, the guys of that caliber at the top, and then there's like quite a bit of a gap, and then you come down to just below British level. So the British champion was Rocky Fielding, who's the world champion. I heard Darryl Williams, who I've been calling out, is going to be fighting for that. But then, yeah, so you've got the world level, you've got a massive gap, then you've got a British level, but there needs to be a filler in the middle, I think. Either way though, I believe that the people at the British lower level, I think there are enough people there for me to fight, to build and work on my craft, to then catapult me into the world level. And if I need to bridge in the gap, then I'm sure Frank will bring in someone from abroad. Take me abroad.
Yep, sure. Coming through Zak Chelli, if that all goes well. Is Darryl Williams the fight you want next?
It's not a personal thing with Darryl Williams. I was only gunning for him because he was the English champion, and it was the belt that I thought made the most sense, where with my experience I could get, but also I'd win. But you know, if he was to win the British, then whoever then fights for the English would become a target. But ideally, he wins the British, and I'll put myself in a position where I get to challenge for the English against whoever. I don't mind.
It's exciting times for you, Umar. Listen, best of luck on the 20th. I'm sure we'll catch up with you before that. But for now, thanks for all time.
Yeah, thanks for your time, man.